Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy week
Good
two.
morning.
Happy week
I
two.
guess. All right.
How we doing?
Hello there, guest. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right. Busy day today. So,
Yeah.
guys, episode 4 already. Week 2 preview. I think we got some good stuff for you. As always, remember to like us and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. And if there's a need for a stream yard consent form, let's make it happen. Guess you want to jump right into Thursday?
Yeah. Aside from me thinking it would be a little more low scoring, everything kind of went according to plan. Just looking real quickly, Barkley was just okay. Shepard was the best one. Galladay's a week away. Uh, Gibson, we would have liked him to get the touchdown and not been vultured. McLaurin killed it, and Logan Thomas was just okay. And it was pretty much what we said. I was wrong, basically saying it would be like 20-17, but all the stats pretty much lined up somehow. So
It was a slow game in the beginning. It really picked up more towards the end, and it was more based on the defense and just errors and stuff like that. One thing I will say is that Scary Terry is D Hop Jr. Uh,
yeah,
it's amazing. Anybody can throw him the ball, and he's going to get open, and he's going to make plays for you.
yeah, he pretty much. I'm glad you brought that up. He pretty much is somebody that we shouldn't be getting any questions about going forward. Unless they're playing like the Rams, which I don't even know if they do, um, because then he's got to deal with Ramsey. Other than that, I think that you pretty much just plug them in.
Yeah, and as far as Brown, Deami Brown, will that be Curtis Samuel's role? I mean, he did have a bunch of targets. It looked like, I mean, it wasn't a huge game for him, but they did look his way quite a few times.
Yeah, I brought his name up. He was somebody to sort of watch out for. Keeps getting more and more burn each week, so he's definitely somebody to keep on your radar.
All right. Let's jump into the first game here. I have New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. As you know already, you were high on Jawan, Mr. Jawan, catching 2 touchdowns. Do we see the same kind of play out of him, or do we actually see a little Callaway this week as far as that wide receiver one option that he was looking to go into that role? On the flip side, Carolina Panthers were playing against the Jets last week. Didn't look the greatest, but this offense now with Sam Darnold, can we see something out of some players that we're not thinking this week compared to what we saw last week?
Yeah, Carolina didn't look the greatest, but they won, and they're at home. And so long as they put up some points in this game, which I think that they should be able to do, then all your Saints players won't lay the eggs that they laid last week. CMC, we're not going to talk about him and waste his time, our time with that. I think the one player last week, aside from Robbie Anderson's one bomb, which he's probably got a shot to do that again today, that didn't do too much last week that I kind of like this week. No, you got to be quiet. Got my 3-year-old down here. I didn't like him too much last week. Don't love him too much going into the season or overall. I think DJ Moore is going to have a game today. So if he's somebody that you're a little down on after last week, I feel like this is going to be a nice DJ Moore game. He's their possession guy. They're going to need him. They should use Dan Arnold just a little bit more, but that was a crash and burn last week. So we'll see because they're still using Ian Thomas. You don't need to play him unless you're in like a 2 tight end league and you got lower end second option. And for the Saints, a lot of questions. A lot of people are benching Callaway, saying only 2 catches. But listen, Jameis threw 20 balls last week. 16 were completed. Like, that's so tiny. Most games, a quarterback will average on the lower end, I'd say 30 attempts. They didn't need to do anything. So your Saints players are going to rely on how well Carolina can score. Will Carolina give up like Green Bay did last week? I don't think they do. They're at home. The Saints defense looked better than I said they were going to be. But again, Green Bay gave up. So I think the Carolina players will have a shot in this one. I think DJ Moore is somebody you absolutely have to play. And I'm not shying away from Callaway at all. I have a feeling he goes off in this game. I think that what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of people that played Callaway last week. This happens every single year. A lot of people that played Callaway last week, they're going to bench him, and he's going to go off today. And this is going to be a theme today, as it's always a theme in the beginning of the season. People play somebody week one, they don't do well, or they bench somebody week one and they do well, and then they flip flop their lineups because of it, and then it bites them. So don't fall into that trap. If you got a real solid option, sure, play him over Callaway if it makes you feel better this morning. But I'm playing Callaway. I'm not scared of him at all. This is a great matchup. Carolina has one of the worst secondaries. And Jameis is going to have to throw the ball more than 20 times in this one. Carolina's not going to give up. So Juwan, again, if you're rolling with him as your tight end, put him in there. But Troutman is involved. Troutman got the same amount of targets, actually more targets than Juwan. Juwan just got him in the end zone, and that's what we want out of a tight end. We want a touchdown, because if you're getting 3 or 4 catches a game, 30, 40 yards, that's like a mediocre day at the park for a tight end. So if you're catching at least 1 touchdown, you're doing more than fine. We'll see if Lil Jordan Humphrey does anything today, but he's not somebody that you're playing. So I'm not shying away from Callaway. I'm playing Juwan if I have to, and I think DJ Moore has a nice bounce-back game.
All right. Antonio had first question here. Hello. And he's actually watching. So, hey, what's going on, Antonio? Chase, Cooks, Brown from Tennessee, Anderson from Carolina, or Ridley. Need to pick 3. I'm not sure if it's Jamar Chase or Chase Claypool.
Well, you got to play Ridley. I'm just going to look real quick. I think you got to play Cooks. He's their best option. They're going against a tough Browns team. And then between A.J. Brown and, am I frozen here?
No, it looks like you're here. You're good.
My whole computer just went black. Are you there still?
Yes, we're here, man. We hear you.
All right. So my whole computer screen just went black, so I can't see anything. Jamar Chase, or I can't even remember who it was.
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown.
Or Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, not Robbie Anderson. I wish I could see something. I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to go A.J. Brown.
You by any chance? Maybe you can pull it up there.
Yeah, I'm going to go A.J. Brown.
All right. If it's Jamar Chase, I mean, kid look pretty good. I mean, going with the ebbs and flows, maybe this is more of a Boyd game. Maybe Higgins gets some actual more love here. Looks like we lost guests. For me, I think I would probably be going Cooks, Brown, and Ridley, same as him. Jamar Chase is somebody definitely to pay attention to from a, I guess, targeting standpoint. That's what I'm paying attention to. I have him on my bench right now, and I'm trying to figure out, is he worth the start actually over Julio Jones, where, as we know, this week in Tennessee, it came out that he just wasn't feeling it. Vrabel actually mentioned him and brought him up in a negative way. So we got to see how that goes from there. Next question I had was from Wands that I was going to ask guests. He has Adams and Debo, so we need 3. The reason I brought this up is because Juwan is one of his guys that he actually has on his list here. I'm sure that guests will go over a bunch of Hardman, Rager, Marshall, Valdez, Scantling, obviously on Monday night. Seems like Kittle's his tight end. So for me, I think I'm going to be going – I like Rager, to be honest with you. And the reason I like Rager is I just think that Philadelphia is a team to watch this year. Hurts look really good. Again, ebbs and flows. Do we see what happens to him this week? Let's see his matchup against the San Francisco 49ers. Definitely a lot better defense, but I think they're going to try to focus on Devonta Smith. That's why I was thinking a Rager could be something that will be a bomb down the field. Let's see what happens here. All right. Let's see what anybody else have any questions? Maybe we can go from there. If you guys are watching, maybe throw up on the screen so that we can wait for guests to get back. Or not. That's fine too. I can go into the next game if you guys want me to. Again, just looking to see what you guys want. All right, it is Jamar Chase from Cincinnati. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking the kid too. He definitely had the most targets last week. He's definitely somebody that is of interest. Again, I think it's based on the target share. He did have a lot of points last week. Yeah, you're definitely right, Antonio. He had the big touchdown. He was looked to. Again, you have to kind of go with the game flow, though. Cincinnati is playing this week against. I remember the match. Cincinnati's at the Bears. That Bears defense is a lot better. Do they focus on Jamar Chase, which again opens it up more for Higgins or somebody like a Higgins or, like I said, mentioned Boyd, even getting Mixon involved a little bit more. That's what makes me a little bit nervous about Jamar Chase, because I think that they're going to now focus on him because the kid had such a splash last week. So definitely somebody to pay attention to. What's going on, John? Flex PPR spot need one. Hardman, Anderson, J-Rob, or Hines. Let me think here. For me, I'm probably... that's a good one. It's between Hardman, to be honest, and J-Rob. I know Hines, a lot of people with the full PPR are really high on Hines this week because of what he saw. I don't know, with Jonathan Taylor in front of him just makes me a little bit more nervous with that. I'm going to go J-Rob with a bounce back week. I think that even though Hyde got the ball a lot, Jaguars have to try to do something for Trevor Lawrence. I really think that him getting the ball running and the ball more involved, that Broncos defense is tough. It looks like Von Miller and Chubb are both going to be playing. That could be what would stop me from playing him, but I'm really hoping on a bounce back week from a J-Rob. I really think that he can be somebody that, if they establish the run against Denver, could really open it up for Trevor Lawrence and actually give them a shot in this game. Broncos looked good last week, don't get me wrong, against the Giants, but they're not the greatest of teams either. So for me, in the order, it would probably be J-Rob, Hines, Hardman, Robbie Anderson. All right. It seems like Guest is having some issues as far as his computer. So I think I have to see what he wants to do. Maybe I'll just cancel this live and maybe we'll try to see if we come back in a few minutes. Yeah, guys, you know what? I'm going to jump off. I'm going to see if we can get him going again, and we'll go from there. Let's see if we can get back. Sorry for the interruption here.